Hey there, YouTubers. It's been a while since I've been in front of the camera. Well, actually like 11 years. Wow, right? Time flies. Well, here's kind of what happened. I met the man of my dreams and I got married and I'm just fat and happy and yeah, so I'm not wanting to get in front of the camera. But I'm working on it because I, in the process of filming my latest Skillshare class, and I've really just avoided being in front of the camera, and so I thought this would be a good opportunity to practice, right? So I just finished a sketchbook, so I thought I'd do a sketchbook tour, but before that I thought I would tell you what I've got going on with my art. I went down a little bit of a rabbit hole, not too bad, but I got distracted and just kind of went with a nautical theme, and so I did these little thumbnails, and then I don't know, like adventure was on my mind, and I was watching YouTube videos of folks that are sailing around the world in their catamarans, and I was like, yes, adventure. So I did this one and this one, and then I got my little thumb sketches of other ones that I was going to do, and I thought I'm going to do this whole nautical collection, and I started on it, and then, you know, I kind of lost interest because I jumped into filming another class, and then I went off on that tangent. There's one. Okay, so what I've been up to lately is I filmed the Skillshare class for this echinacea, and the class is called Paint With Me, Abstract Florals and Gouache Echinacea, right? And then the next class I just published this week is these roses, and it's the second in the series, Paint With Me Abstract Florals and Gouache Roses. And so these, normally when I do my Skillshare classes, I speed up the painting part 8 times, so because I don't want to bore my students, you know, but for these classes, I really wanted them to see kind of the ugly stages that paintings go through when you're doing multiple colors and lots of layers and lots of vibrancy. Although this one really didn't go through any ugly stages because look at those colors, right? They're so pretty, right? So I painted this one. Oh, I don't know, because I got some new gouache. I was trying out new gouache so I could tell my students like what to buy that I thought would be affordable for them, and to check out a new medium. And so I'm not sure which set I used of those. My favorite are the Winsor & Newton designer gouache, but I did just I bought the Crayon de Ash brand so that I could film the classes for my students and offer them an affordable alternative to the Winsor & Newton designer gouache, which is really expensive. So yeah, isn't that pretty? So yeah, you can support my art by taking my classes. I do get paid for these classes, so when you take a class of mine or you use my link to sign up for Skillshare, I make money, and basically what little income I'm making on my art is coming from Skillshare, because I haven't sold a painting in a while, which makes me really sad. But I mean, good thing I don't paint for my good thing I'm not having to paint for my dinner. Anyway, yeah, so that's what's going on there. And so I'm going to get right into my sketchbook tour that I just finished. I just finished this sketchbook, and it is June 15th through, did I date it? Last thing I dated was July 17th, so yeah, that's it. So I started this sketchbook on June 15th. I was in Spokane, Washington. It was my granddaughter Sophia's birthday, so I was kind of focusing on cats because she's a real fan of cats. So I had some inspirational material on my phone, and so that's what I went with there. If you've taken any of my classes, one of my very first Skillshare class was watercolor journaling for beginners and artists, and the template that I developed to overcome artistic blocks and ensure daily practice. This is the template I use for my watercolor journals when I just want to paint every day, and sometimes I just don't want to think about what I'm going to be painting, or I want to work out ideas, or I want to work on a concept or a subject matter. That's what I do in my journals. So a lot of times it's not only a journal, but also where I'm at, what the weather is, what's going on with me, my mood. And so if you take that class, then you'll find my whole little template and how I put together these daily journals that will encourage you to overcome artistic blocks and practice your painting daily. So sometimes I'm in watercolor and sometimes I'm in gouache. And here's a funny story about that. But anyway, on this day, watercolor. Yeah. So I was just working through a color palette, and I like it, huh? Okay, so on this day, this little sketch, you always see these artists. Okay, my sketchbook tours are not like this either, as you know if you've seen any of them. But you see these artists and they show you their sketchbook and everything in there is like, oh my god, a masterpiece, and you're just like, going, really? Crap, man. This is what mine looks like, really. So I was at Pioneer Park, my granddaughter's dance recital practice, and so I am doing some urban sketching right here. That's what it looks like with my little palette to go. And then over here I'm trying to do some peonies, which I can never do, but I keep trying, right? Because how hard can it be? Everybody else does it. So that's what that is. Then, okay, so this is Thursday. Thursday, June 18th, and it was sunny. Oh, and I had my mind blown. I watched an artist on YouTube channel, and I'd heard about the golden ratio, but I never really understood about the golden ratio, okay? I did not know how that related to the Fibonacci sequence, and it blew my freaking mind. Like, I understood sacred geometry for the first time, and so I'm 54 years old, so this is really impressive. I had no idea. I know all about the Fibonacci. Well, I don't know all about it, but obviously I didn't know all about it. But I know about it. I'm aware of it. And the golden ratio, but wow, they're connected. And it's amazing stuff. And so, go ahead and Google golden ratio and Fibonacci and check it all out. So, my mind was blown. I started developing my compositions along that lines, and I want to show you what I had my husband. I made my husband build me and make me, and I drove him crazy because at first he didn't do it right, and I was mad. I'm like, just forget it, I'll do it myself. He's like, no, I'll do it. Yes. See this? Yeah. Ta-da! It's great. So that's what that is. You might know all about it, but I didn't. Now I do. Okay, so again, I'm exploring that, and I'm really into the sunshine, summertime. My oldest daughter's name is Summer. I just I love being outdoors, and I love the sunshine, and summer's my favorite time. So I thought I'd do sun and the golden ratio, and then I thought about the earth and the waves and the ocean, and then these kind of look like trees, and I meant to look like heat waves, and I just kept going with it. And it says, here comes the sun, and I say it's all right, yeah, right? And then over here again, still working on that golden ratio and my composition. Like, this is the magic thing that's gonna make it all good, right? That's what's going on there. Okay, so I always wanted to work on some negative painting, and that's what I did there. And I wrote a little quote that says, what you seek is seeking you. Okay, I'm going to go beat my dog, sorry. Hold on, I'm going to shut the door. Oh, those dogs, right? I love dogs. I got 2 dogs, and I'm thinking about getting him a barking collar. It's going to shock him, but I just haven't done it yet. Okay, what you seek is seeking you. Ooh, beautiful things don't ask for attention. Yeah, right? And then my half-assed attempt at some sacred geometry right here, baby. That's what that is. Okay, here again. I've got the golden ratio going on. And then I just threw in some plants, and you know, I just started going for it, and yeah, that's what that is. Whatever. I just throw it out there. Oh, and this is when I got on the nautical theme. And I'm like, what you seek is seeking you. Yes, Jesus loves me. Law of attraction is all going to work out. It's all coming my way. That's what I say. So what you seek is seeking you, like a small boat on the ocean, making big waves and sending big waves into motion, like how a single match can make an explosion. Yeah, it's all good, right? That's what that is. Okay. So I had drawn this, and then I didn't paint it for like days and days and days, so I lost whatever my original inspiration was, so I just go on the fly. You know, things work out better when I pre-plan my color scheme, but I never do that because that'd be too tight for me, right? So I didn't, and that's just what happened, and that's what came out. Okay, so here, capturing a little scene that I had in that, hopefully you can see that pretty well. Oh, it's right here. Yep. So still going with the little nautical theme. Adventure. See the A? That's for adventure. I'm just mostly practicing my watercolor. Okay, here's some gouache. And here's some gouache. And this is July 2nd and July 3rd. And of course, July is like red, white, and blue. I don't know. I just can't get away from it, right? So this is gouache. And it's so vibrant, right? Oh my gosh, you guys. I'm going to do a Jackson haul. I just ordered a bunch of stuff on Jackson. Yeah. One of them is Inktense pencils, which I was like, you know what? It sounds good. I'm getting them. Okay, so I can't wait till those come. I got some new brushes. You know, I don't know about you, but I have such an investment in brushes, right? Because like I always think this is going to be the magic wand that's going to teach me how to paint. This is brush, right? But I actually did find the magic wand. Yeah, it's a Princeton Neptune series. I have quills. I have every brand of round brush you can imagine. And the only thing that I do not have, I will be honest, is a real sable brush, because I just can't pull the trigger. They're so expensive. But I do have a World Squirrel brush, and I have lots of quills, and I do have the black velvets that a lot of watercolor artists like, but I don't really care for. I have lots and lots and lots of brushes. Travel brushes. These are just my favorite brushes that I have right here that I can pull. But I got these new brushes, and I did a little analysis. You know, here's all my brushes, and they're all like, you know, the Princeton Neptunes, they're my favorite. This brush was like a legit, like, I don't know, $50 or something, you know, some ridiculous amount. Was it worth it? Rosemary and Company. No, wasn't worth it. But it's nice, though. It's a squirrel brush. I did decide that I do like squirrel. Then the Heritage round, because another artist recommended those. That's all she uses. Well, guess what? I didn't really care for it either, but, you know, I still spent $12 on it. It's right here. Yeah, I don't really care. I'll use it for gouache, you know. Oh, it's kind of hard to use it. But these, the Princeton Neptunes, these are the magic wands. I'm in love with them. And those are what I'm going to buy from now on. I'm not going to buy anything else. How's that? Okay. 4th of July. Something happened on the 4th of July. My normal party was canceled because of Corona. And that really sucked. I didn't even realize how much I... Okay, well, the word just left. So I didn't know how much I counted on this party every year, but it got canceled. And so I didn't end up doing anything because everybody had plans, so whatever. Oh, so here's my inspiration for this painting. And that's that. Okay. So then here I did, this is mixed media, gouache and watercolor. And then I'm like, you know, do I like gouache or do I like watercolor? And so I started doing it in half in watercolor and half in gouache. And then I got confused and I finished and accidentally put my gouache on my watercolor. And then I realized, guess what? Look at this. You don't have to do watercolor or gouache. I can do both in the same painting, right? And then I just took a class, another class on Skillshare. That's what I love about Skillshare. I could try and find a class here, and it would be difficult. And, yeah, maybe I'm going to like her art, maybe I'm not going to like her art. But on Skillshare, there's hundreds of other artists, and I always learn something, even if their skills are not as great as mine, or my skills are way better than mine. I always learn something from these other artists. And I just took a class, and it was all about mixing gouache and watercolor, right? But she like broke it down, and it was like, thank you, that's the piece I needed. So Skillshare is really cool. So, you know, for if you get the annual subscription, it's $100, so it breaks down to like less than $10 a month. But yeah, I couldn't take a class for $10 a month, and especially with that variety teacher and the variety of subjects. So I'm not only a teacher on Skillshare, I'm also a fan. And no, they did not sponsor my classes. Like, I watch YouTube like crazy every single day, and they're not sponsoring me. Okay, I pay for my I pay for my subscription, and I do classes to help pay for my art supplies, which nobody's giving me art supplies either. Okay, so this is July 6th, and this is July 7th, and you know, I collect those inspirations. I'm working with gouache here and watercolor, and I have an artist. Her name is Carrie Schmidt. I have an artist. She's not my artist. I love her though. I love her artwork. She just painted her car, so she's awesome. She's on Instagram. I don't know her thing. Sorry, it's Carrie with CarrieSchmitt. Schmidt. And so I have a couple of her screenshots for inspiration, and that's she's the source of those. The inspiration for those. You know, these are in my watercolor journal. I'm not selling them. I'm telling you who they're inspired by, but that's what they're inspired by. But, you know, I had a really interesting conversation with my granddaughter about Frida Kahlo. It looks like that girl has one eyebrow, Grandma. Yeah, it's Frida Kahlo. Do you know her? So, then, July 9th and July 10th, all suddenly I just got into just like a circus theme. So, yeah. Then I'm like, oh, wow, circus. Let me go down that rabbit hole, right? So I made a list of circus subjects, and I started going down it. You know, I got tents. You saw the tents, right? Tents. There's a bunch of circus tents. Man, I could paint circus tents from now till eternity, right? Clowns. There's a clown. But, yeah, clowns are cool, right? I could do portraits of clowns. I could do clowns. Oh, my gosh. Acrobats, which this is my funny, huh? What? That's what comes up when you work off your head. So people are like, oh, I need to loosen up. I can only paint tight. Well, I told the girl, yeah, don't use a reference. That'll help you. Oh, no, I could never use a reference. I could never not use a reference. And I was like, yeah, I can see why you have a hard time letting go of how tight your painting is. Yeah. So she does really beautiful work. It's just really tight painting, you know, so it's real detailed and realistic, and mine's not. So that's because I'm pretty laid back, and I'm not using a reference. How about that? These, though, I did use a reference, and it was Pixabay, which I recommend in this class. So take that, Watercolor Journaling for Beginners and Artists, and I'll tell you all about it in there. Okay, so this elephant, right? I could do, like, oh my God, so much with that elephant. Yeah, like you're pulling a rabbit out of your hat. So that's that. Okay, still playing with my Princeton brushes. What was I going over? Yeah, these are all my brushes, right? My spendy brushes, right? And so I just have to do these things that makes myself crazy, like compare all my brushes. So there you go on that. That's what's going on there. Okay, July 14th. That's me, 3 elephants on top of each other with no reference. They look like dogs. This is my sketchbook, though. Okay, so it's just about painting every day. I don't get crazy about nothing. So, manifest your dreams. Oh my gosh, it's backwards. Sorry, I don't know. I can't flip it. I don't know how to make that happen, but that's an elephant. No reference, people. I love it, right? So you can get really abstract. You get a really cool elephant in pinks and greens and turquoise with no reference. That's how you do, baby. Okay, so then I got my manifestation list, which, you know, I don't know if I'm going to tell you what's on it. Okay, again, Carrie Schmidt. This is what her car looks like, right? Her whole car looks like that. Oh, awesome. You know, she's so funny too because she posted this post and it made me think of my husband because this is how my husband is as well. She said, so many people have asked me, don't you think might lower the value of your car? And she said, but my dad, when I showed him my car, said, you've raised the value of that car by at least $10,000. And I was like, yes, what a great dad, right? Because her car is awesome. I totally think that, but I could see somebody saying that to her about the value of her car because she painted it like this. It's all flowers. I might screenshot it and stick it in here so you could see this girl's car because she's awesome. Okay, so I'm still working on an elephant. I actually used a reference for this elephant. I just, you know, decorated him for the circus and he's blowing bubbles out of his nose, and that's all from my own, you know, mind. Crazy, right? Okay, so yeah, manifesting. Oh, yeah, I'm not gonna tell you everything I want, but I'll tell you a couple things. I'm wanting a pontoon boat with a top and a slide for the kids. So that's on my list. Okay. And, okay, so July 17th, I got a new palette. It's the Hemi Jelly Gouache, and I paid 23 bucks for this. It's awesome, right? I'm recommending it for my students. Okay, so I'm just on a roll. I'm about to get everything that I ever wanted. My life is just, my life's a dream. If somebody said to me, how's it going? I'd be like, if it was going any better, you'd have to slap me because my life is freaking perfect, okay? Other than I'm a little bit chubby, I'm happy and my life is perfect. And so this says, everything is possible for one who believes. Yes, because every day Jesus says, I love you, and everything on that list is going to happen for you. And I don't make this stuff up. I just live it and say, thank you, Lord. My life is a dream. And 2020. Okay, so this is the last page. I did this with the Hemi gouache. I think I might have a bonus to my Paint With Me Abstract Florals and Gouache and do this painting because I just really like the colors. And that whole series, I don't know if you picked up on this, but it's all about the colors in this series. It's not really about the painting. Look at those roses. Man, they're all the same. You know, it's all about the colors. For me. I mean, look at this yellow background, okay? That's what it's about. Look at this yellow background. I mean, it's like fluorescent. Jeez. We like that, right? Same thing with this echinacea. I wanted a turquoise background. I wanted those. I love the oranges and what's going on here. I'll show you. Let me get this real close. I don't know. Yeah, can you see all that color? Yes, I love it. And then the last one in this series, which is the one that's in production now, will be this little daisy. I try to make these classes as beginner friendly as I can for my students. I don't know why. I guess because I feel like a beginner. I'm still a beginner, and so I'm doing beginner classes, and I just try to make it as easy as possible for these folks to make something they can be proud of. Because really, what I want for my students is I want them to enjoy the process of painting, and I don't want them to get uptight and stuck in that whole I suck thing. And you know, God, I belong to watercolor boards. Don't give your paintings to people. Don't gift them. Don't give them as a gift to your mom or your uncle or your stepmother, because you know they might not like it. Okay. And I'm on these boards and all the time it'll be like, oh, I got my mom's painting and I put it in the closet. Well, you know what? Everybody's different. There's somebody out there that's gonna love your style, and but just don't give your art away. Just don't do it. But make them ask, right? I have I've done some pieces for some folks, but they asked, and I never do anything unasked. So this is what's in my sketchbook today. Messing around with gouache, messing around with some complimentary color schemes, and I'm just like, oh, I'm going to pick 3 colors and go with it and see what happens. Well, you know, that's what happened. So we'll see what happens next. Anyway, hey, you've seen me. I did it. I got in front of the camera. Thanks for watching my YouTube video. Please like and subscribe. Costs you nothing, but it means a whole lot on the internet. And hey, take a Skillshare class, and if you don't mind, sign up through my link. Go through my link. You get 2 free months. And if you already have Skillshare, take one of my classes. Hey, thank you so much. See you next time. Bye.